And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gym in the Crypto, episode 776. Today is Friday, August 13th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay. And we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish, and today is one of those 10-ish days. Today is a full-on FBF, Fuck Bitcoin Friday, so we're about to start to drop that link in there. Feel free to call in. Today's top stories of the day: FTX.US aiming to offer crypto derivatives trading in less than a year. Poly Network hacker returns nearly all funds, refuses 500K white hack bounty. And Benny the Butcher announces NFT connection for the Plugs I Met anniversary. But first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to our show sponsor of the day. Cryptomatic is sponsoring the show. Of course, some of you have already signed up, but we put the link in the chat. But Cryptomatic is a free resource for cryptocurrency news, cryptomatic.com. So here, let me actually bring up the sign-up sheet. The link will literally bring you to this fan page where you can see our little intro video, of course, that we promoted on Wednesday, and then you can sign up here at the bottom where you will actually just receive one of their first newsletters, which is just your intro to cryptocurrency. We call it the cryptocurrency startup guide for Cryptomatic 2021. Again, this is the first newsletter we received in our email admin inbox. This is the way it looks. You can download the starter guide, which is, again, a 15-page starter guide, which is pretty good. Actually, one of the top 5 tokens, as much as a hard time I was giving them, one of the top 5 tokens is, I'll go ahead and tell you all, one of the top 5 tokens they picked was Cardano. So technically, if you were to get this newsletter on Wednesday, you have already made money by following this newsletter. So again, it's a free newsletter. It's a place to go. If you don't have the $2,000 or $1,000 for the masterclass, that's fine. Here's a free resource, Crypto Startup Guide 2021. And again, this is the first newsletter that came from CryptoVantage.com. So again, happy to have CryptoVantage.com as our sponsor this entire month. All they want you all to do is sign up for that newsletter, receive that free starter guide, and then next month you'll be entered into a contest to win something. We'll just throw it out there. It's something good and something big. So the contest will be good. And last but not least, I have to say, as of recent, all the shows we've been doing advertisements and sponsors for, it seems like they're happy with the engagement that you guys have been checking them out. It seems like you all are happy to be to see some of these new platforms and stuff. And we're certainly happy to bridge that gap. So everyone's happy. Everyone's eating B. We're going to make sure, we keep bringing quality sponsors when we can. But of course, always do your own research. But again, shout out to CryptoVantage.com. That first newsletter was great, that cryptocurrency startup guide. Oh, yeah. So shout out to that. And as we wait, prices of the day, I just realized today we do use 2 computers. Yeah. We haven't been side by side in a long time.
Yeah, been side by side a long time. Yeah.
We use 2 computers and a tripod. Today we're actually using the laptop as the tripod. So it's definitely going to mess up the workflow. But here, I bring it up.
Hey, but it's Friday, baby. It doesn't matter.
Hey, it doesn't matter. We're going to make it work. We'll figure it out.
Time to get lit, baby.
Whenever it's a live show, you got to expect the craziness, but go along with it. So yeah, none other than CoinMarketCap, because we know some of our Hexkins love it. Let's go ahead and talk about these prices of the day. Bitcoin's at here. You go.
Yeah. So Bitcoin coming in today, big jump overnight at $46,528, up almost 5% today. Ethereum sitting at $3,235, up 5.8%. $401 price point for Binance Coin. Oh man, crossed that $400 mark, up 5.8%. Cardano sitting at $2, just crossed that $2 mark, up 16.4% overnight. XRP finally passing the dollar mark, up 5.73%. Dogecoin coming in at 27 cents, is up 4.7%. Polkadot coming in at 21.93, up 6% today. And last but not least, Uniswap at 29.83 is up 7.3% today. So huge jump for a lot of altcoins overnight, because again, like we said, when Bitcoin takes a small slide, next thing you know, altcoins take off. And then of course, when Bitcoin Big Daddy comes back, of course, everything else increases as well. So it's a good time to hold, not a great time to sell. I know a lot of people are getting weak hands off the last dip, but great time to hold.
So what are your thoughts? Are we just going to keep going sideways as we try to test this 46 to 48 mark, or what? So we're going to bust through it?
Oh, yeah. I think we will bust through it. When? I'm not sure. I think we will have a few shakeouts along the way.
Man, we need a big. I need a big shakeout to happen. Shake them out.
Well,
Shake them out.
This is what I see is everybody's waiting for 20K. So that was the first Max Payne event. So boom, everybody waiting for 20. Now they're gonna FOMO into it, where resistance is at 47, 48,000. And I think people are gonna say, well, it's going to 50, so I might as well buy it. Maybe not, because at that level, that's where you may see some huge resistance and maybe shake out people with a huge drop. Now, all of a sudden, whenever this happens, people get scared. I don't understand it because it's like, look, if you know the bull market has started, just hold for the long term. But if you are a short-term trader, you may want to watch yourself. These games won't go up forever.
And looks like we have our first guest. All right, so DJ Cryptomatic has been wanting to talk nomics. The smoke is about to start. Alec, go ahead and let them in. So people, this is going to happen. The camera's going to be a little shaky because our setup is wrong, and I want to be able to be sure that we pull up. I can pull up these stats and facts for these folks who are about to call in, because they're about to call in telling you things emphatically, but doesn't mean it's going to be true. And no matter how emphatic they are, we're definitely going to talk truth today. Alec, if you can go ahead and let him in, that'd be great. I don't know what's wrong. No, yeah, DJ Cryptomatic is here. He's in the weight room. Okay. Oh, I own the meeting. So DJ, just hold on. We'll let you in un momento. There we go. All right, let's do this first. Let me move this. You move this for me. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Do this the proper way. Hey, I gotta be able to go with my Google searches while we talking. Because they already know that the nonsense about to start coming out. All right. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Camera set up still. We got it almost. Hold on.
It's the best part about a live show. You get to see everything as it happens, baby.
You get to see it live, baby. You got like a glare. There it is. Yeah. This is as good as it get. It's all good. Boom. I want to get you out this glare if possible. I can't get you out the glare. The glare will exist. Oh, yeah. And then Alec, how to pass his ownership over to you?
Glare, baby.
Okay. Perfect. Hold on, DJ. We'll get to you in a quick second. Okay, perfect.
And while we're waiting, get the likes up, please, people.
Hey, get the likes.
I didn't even bring my mic with me today, but I'll still bust out the tune. Hey, you gotta get the likes.
Don't lurk, like. Really quick before we get DJ going, I want to give some quick shout outs. What's going on, Sis Yaya, Patrick Walter, what up though? Michael Kennedy, Milto, Rodney Fury, St. James, Rono, DC, Fanteezy, BR, Judicial Crypto, Joe Turton. Good morning, everyone. And again, thank you for joining. Hey, and shout out to DJ Cryptomatic for being here today. Like, all we ask is that you call in and you bring your beef to the video so you can teach our audience if you have something to teach, or so you can get caught in the nonsense live. Either way, DJ Cryptomatic said he has the facts and stats to back it up. This looks like it's about to be a nomics versus all other crypto aggregator talk today, but we'll see what's going on. What's going on, DJ Cryptomatic? How you doing? Can you hear us?
Oh, Cryptomatic.
Hello, thanks for having me on. I'm calling from Germany. It's a long distance call. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, we can hear you perfect. Hey, thanks for calling. I know you've been traveling, you've been on the go. We try to make time Tuesday, we couldn't, so thanks for calling back in today. We appreciate it. Are you hearing us well?
No, that's all right. But now I cannot hear you. Oh, there's a mad delay.
Let's see. How about now? Is there still a bad delay on there? Hero George.
No, I now have to listen to you from the stream, but it's delayed.
Okay, no problem. We'll delay, and that will help us all go one at a time. So, all right, you started off. Tell us why nomics is the holy grail. Why should we be using nomics? Like, we have to know. Oh, that's a big laugh. Is there any way to
first of all, let me tell you, you got some nerves, man. Last Friday, you showed up that music from Freddie Quotes. That is our anthem. That is the Hexican anthem. And I appreciate, like, he called you all kind of this and suck my that on Twitter. And then you came on and shared on his music. Okay, fine. But that is our anthem, man. That is like the Hex anthem. That's our war drum. That's what we put on when we go on beef on Twitter with these Twitter fingers, you know. No, but that's not the real beef. The beef is about nomics. I'm sorry, I still have these voice issues. I hear myself double.
So you're not doubling for us. It's just a big delay. So feel free to kind of go on and talk. We don't want to cut you off because of the big delay.
Hang on, now I'm hearing nothing.
No problem.
Yeah, sure. Okay, no, the real beef is we're a bit disappointed because we thought we had made some progress with you. For one, that you have some of the Hexicans among your Crypto Warriors group, and you had the over an hour long interview with Richard Hart, which there is like synonymous agreement among the Hexicans that this was a fantastic interview. He was feeling himself up there. Probably it's the best interview of the last year we had, and he was really dropping some gems there with you. He was really, the way he detailed the power of T shares, and he really went into it, and like he never did that in that clarity the YouTubers from what I can remember. So that's why we thought we have established like a certain situation with you guys. And then the disappointment comes in that X.com just happens to be the only website that lists the total market cap of Hex correctly compared to these other websites. And the beef is actually not that you think we're saying Nomics is the only, and not biased, they're not influenced. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that if you look at the audio is throwing me off. I hear myself double.
No, you're good. Again, the audio, as far as what everybody hears, sounds perfect. It's just the delay that's the only issue.
Okay, I'll just, I don't know. I just keep going.
It sounds good. Power through.
Going.
Power through. Sounds good.
It's in here. Okay. No, because the thing is, Bitcoin, whenever you, I'll power through. I'm sorry. When you start the show, and I'm watching you guys since the summer of 2017, like really from the days where you called out Antonio, you know, in the beginning of every show, and whenever Warren Buffett, Jamie Dimon let off one in the space, you would do the dinosaur of the day thing with that dinosaur sample that we could never hear because you were playing it from some other computer or something, but the way you brought about it was so hilarious and funny that we could still hear it. So I'm watching you guys since those days. And whenever you start the show, you go to the top 10 and you put up the CoinMarketCap website and you say Bitcoin is this and Ethereum dropped by that overnight, and the top gainer in the top 10 is that one, and XRP is down 50%. That's what you do at the beginning of every show. If you would instead choose Nomics to show the top 10, you would automatically have to talk about Hex on every one of your show. And that is what we thought, because of the Crypto Wars that are Hexicans and the relationship with Richard, that would be a nice thing to do. Actually, the only thing we ask for you, because you say win at your friends, win at your toys, we don't need all that. It would be nice if you could just acknowledge Hex as a legitimate project in the space, as a cryptocurrency, because by you continue to show CoinMarketCap, you are joining in on the gatekeeping of what the beef was, and I guess what the frustration with Johnny K is. He was one who put the tweet out. That's all it is.
Okay, all right. So we're definitely going to have this back for. I'm actually trying to look for some of these tweets because I'm glad you mentioned the guy. You know, first of all, hire us. We'll find some friends. We'll give you a better rap artist. The Hex community. If you are supposed to be so sophisticated, I push back. You deserve better than that guy. All right,
that's not that. His mixtape, I'm throwing that shit out the window like Queen Latifah and set it off every single time. That shit is garbage.
Okay, so
but
we're
the Hex community to me is interesting. he just can't rap. I mean, I have friends that can't rap. They put me their music and I'll tell them this shit is garbage. You won't get it.
We gotta break it down one by one. So one by one. First, you mentioned the bad rapper.
I mean, this is Freddie Quotes. He's a
bad rapper.
He's
from
a white
Virginia,
rapper.
Another adult male who invited us to his male parts. All right, like that looks like. So I'm not sure where he's from or how he does business or where you're from or how you do business. But I haven't been anywhere in my life where this is how people do business, period. So to me, if you're trying to tell me, and here's the other thing, we're not about to get bullied into doing anything. If we were to promote a scam, let's say BitConnect, which almost every channel in crypto except us and a couple others were promoted in 2017. And every time we said something bad about BitConnect, people were coming for our heads on our channel. We're not getting bullied into changing our mind if the facts don't add up. Or on the flip side, if we wanted to promote a scam, either like nobody's bullying me on the internet or in real life, period. So like the way you approach someone is very important. Top to bottom, the way you approach somebody. So that's the first thing. Second thing is the fair weather thing. The reason why we said not your toy and all that. We mentioned that because we are fair. We brought Richard Hart on. We asked him the questions. We allowed him to explain everything because we were generally curious of the Hex project because our warriors were curious and they were telling us as well. Shout out to Gems. But we brought Richard Hart on and we did a fair interview the same way we would do anyone else. The same way Matt came on from XRP. You know, people were mad at Zay on that one. Some people were mad at Matt on that one, going back and forth. But we give everyone a fair shot. So just because we bring someone on doesn't mean that's the cosign for the project. It means we want to bring on, we're actually about to launch something soon. We're going to bring on every founder from every project for something new we're launching and interview them all. So we want to give everyone a fair shake. That does not mean it's a cosign for the project. It doesn't mean it's a cosign for any of that. So now we go over to Nomics. We are not against using any, like personally, I used to use CoinGecko heavy in 2016. To be honest, if we weren't using CoinMarketCap, we will actually be using CoinGecko second, I think. But the reality of the matter is, and even people like Da Vinci, who's been in since 2011 or whatever, dollar Bitcoin, when he came on the show, he's like, I'm using CoinMarketCap. If that is what the majority of people do TA and the majority of retail traders see, it's like the top stories of the day. We're not going to not cover the top news story of the day because it's on Cointelegraph or CoinDesk. It's like, no, that is what a large percentage of the market is going to see. We have to talk about that and cover it. So when it comes to CoinMarketCap, whether we like it, love it, or hate it, or whatever, that is where majority of people are going. Majority of exchanges are going to either CoinMarketCap to get their price or CoinGecko. If we were to switch to Nomics, the first question would be why. And if you say, well, CoinMarketCap's a gatekeeper, I say Nomics is too, because when I Google Nomics, this is the first thing that comes up. Nomics and then Hex. And then as you scroll, like half the things that are linked to Nomics are also linked to Hex. So it's just like one of those things where it's like, why is it that Hex is being linked so heavily to Nomics? Are you telling me there is no manipulation going on with the Hex community and the Nomics platform? First, I want to make sure we're clear on that.
But there are two things I can tell you why we believe they are at least transparent and legit. Number one was because, on Telegram, we have the Hex chat room and the Pulse Chain chat room. And on there is also a voice chat room that people can go in and out. That's on 24/7. People can ask questions, ask for help. There's always a senior Hexkin in there to assist you with your wallet or whatever the trouble might be. That's the customer service that we're providing. And the CEO of Nomics, I think Clay's the name, Clay. He was one night, I think it was January time or so, his chat rooms, and he wanted to do research, find out more about Hex. And because he was also seeing that it performed so well on his own website, so he wanted to find out more what it's about. And then Richard caught wind that he was actually in the Hex chat room, so he went in there as well. And then they really sussed it out for over an hour, had a great conversation about Hex, and he was convinced with what he was hearing. And that's why we sort of give them the green flag, believe that they are legit. And secondly, just last weekend, if you check on their Twitter, they put out these 6 tweet long eloquent explanations about how they are trying to ensure transparency. They want to list the project before anybody else. They don't take any money for listing on there, et cetera, et cetera. So for now, we have to take it from the horse's mouth. So there is a relationship, but it's not like a payola. It's a relationship.
Well, so wait, no, I agree. I get you on that, but
unless you have some other
is he a hexagon?
He's a
dirt
hexagon.
to dish, bring it. But then I'm not defending nomics. My thing is the gatekeeping. That is the thing. And
Right,
you
so
have to explain me now why you are okay with CoinMarket keeping us on page 3, if that is your argument.
well, I want to ask, is the hex community?
There's still this delay. Sorry for a conversation. I can't go
I just
swift
wanna
back
ask-
and forth like that. I really hear you with a half a minute delayed. I'm sorry.
Is the hex community mad because we don't use nomics because it would promote hex, or are they mad because nomics is superior to everything else and we're not using it? Because that's a big difference. If you're mad because we're not promoting hex by talking about nomics, because we would technically talk about it every day, or is it the fact that nomics is a better place? From what I've seen with the CEO, Clay Collins, seems to be a hexkin, has a good relationship. Just seems as though it may be a ploy to push it out. And also the argument about what market cap really is another argument as well, or another discussion. So what exactly do hexagons consider market cap? Is that the circulating money in there, or is it some sort of math that they've done with the sacrifice and post chain type stuff?
I mean, the market cap of, yeah. No, the market cap of Hex that's very easy to calculate. You take you can take the US dollar price, you can take from the Uniswap pair versus USDC. That's how you get your price. And then you have to multiply that by the current circulating supply. That's how you calculate the market cap. And for example, we have a website that is called hex.vision, where you can see the current circulating supply, and it draws, it's not some manipulated stat, it's automated. It draws the number directly from the Ethereum blockchain, from the Etherscan. It pulls it from there. So basically, if you want to have today's circulating supply, you have to take yesterday's number plus everybody that has performed the end stake function today, because when you end stake your stake, you're minting additional coins to the supply. That already includes your interest and all these penalties from the inflation of Hex, minus everybody that started a new stake today. Because when you start a new stake in Hex, you burn your coins. They're gone until you end that stake. So that's why you have a daily fluctuation in the number. But if that is the big problem to do this plus and minus, just take yesterday's number and list it by that. Why keep us on page 2?
Let me ask you this. If it wasn't nomics, let's say nomics goes down, you wake up one morning and nomics is down, whatever, we're under maintenance. Which website would you use to find price and volume and everything else out there besides nomics? It goes down, what would you use?
Well, it's listed on all of them. Coin Paprika was the one in the beginning who listed it properly. Then
you just say Coin Paprika with a straight
they
face
said outright we're not listing it right because we believe too much supply of Hex is. This is off for conversation. I hear you really 10 seconds back. This is what I can't fire back like I want to right away.
This is what it is. Because, yeah,
why do you say Coin Paprika? I just read that they took $1,000 to list the pro.
All right, so here's the basic facts from this point forward. Still using CoinMarketCap, not using nomics. Deal with it. But if another person online invites us to his dick, again, you're in Germany. He may be in Europe. I don't know how y'all do over there, but in America.
He's in Virginia. He's in Virginia.
Okay, well, whatever. I don't care where he does it, wherever he's at. But if you invite another man to his dick, that is violence on site. I don't give a fuck about Twitter. I don't care about
He's
Facebook.
a white rapper.
I don't care about Instagram.
Let me just say this. He's a white rapper.
Yeah,
he's a white rapper
whatever.
from
I don't care what he is. What I'm saying is, if you invite
stand up from the lovely
dick,
suburbs of Washington D.C.,
you're not helping.
How's that supposed to sound like with electrical rock guitars in the back? It will not be on
stop trying to save him.
Pete Rock and Seal
What I'm saying is,
Money Earning Mount
over
Vernon,
time,
you know? We got that too in Hex though.
Yeah, over time, people will learn online that if you invite somebody to your dick, if you do certain stuff online, you have to understand that there's a difference in person. We do not care about what people say online. It's our show. I read the prices. I'm reading from CoinMarketCap. The real prices is when you go to an exchange and buy it. That's the price you get.
That is true.
So who cares what I'm reading? It's just a quick update. And if you want us to shield Hex, too bad. We're not doing it. We have people on to talk about it. We invite everybody. So if you're mad because we're not promoting you more after an interview, go cry to your mom, because we are grown men. We can do what we want. Well, and if you don't like it, then stop watching. It's very simple. And if you don't understand the fact of suck my dick, blah blah blah, you definitely that's the wrong way to go about it. Online it may work because you guilt people into maybe doing something with Hex, but I live in the real world. That doesn't do anything but make it. I'm pushed back against it more. So
I would say this, just looking at the things though, DJ Cryptomatic. When I look at CoinMarketCap, so here's CoinMarketCap's, right? This CoinMarketCap's top 10. CoinGecko's top 10. So CoinGecko to me is another widely used site. Like I said, I would actually be using CoinGecko if not for CoinMarketCap. So even if we were to look at CoinGecko, you know, their top 10, 15, 20 are pretty much similar. And let's say like, okay, I'm not even sure who made Crypto Paprika, but again, if we look at all these other things like Bitcoins, they said the ideal is just to get an overall price point. But my biggest thing too, whatever people use, none of these should determine the buying of a project. There's people who are not buying Bitcoin right now saying it's too expensive. You can't do anything with Bitcoin. When in reality, it's just like, it's the number one coin, but they're still not buying it because they say it's too expensive. So what if Bitcoin's listed number? I mean, China on their top 10 list never even has Bitcoin. It's always number 13, right? So our thing is, regardless of what we use, unless like I said, unless it's only because the person or a project wants their coin to be shown, then it doesn't really matter. They're all being manipulated. Like you said, maybe there's not any payola going on, but if the founder of a price aggregator like Nomics is a hexagon as well, I mean, it will only make sense for him to keep that thing in the top 5 too. So to say is not being manipulated at all, I don't believe it. And then last but not least, I have to ask you, you've been watching this since 2017, and what made you go in heavy in Hex over all the projects since 2017? There's been a ton of projects. So what are your thoughts there as well?
Yes, sir. In Hex, we called it the promise coin space. You know, just on Monday, you chilled the Tory Lane NFT. As a matter, I will not buy that. Like, and you always keep saying, oh, we are not influencers. I mean, you influenced me very early on in 2017 because I'm watching you since then, like about what Bitcoin is, what it stands for, not to sell the bottom of these dips just like we had it now, be a crypto warrior, hold through that, you know, so you influenced me with that. So how can you say you're not really influencers? You select which topics you go through, you choose to get me on today or not to get me on, and whoever's watching is potentially being influenced with that. So it's like the late Jam Master Jay from Run DMC. He said, everybody is a DJ. Like as soon as you get into your car and you decide from your CD collection, okay, am I playing this song now or am I playing that song? That way you already are a DJ choosing on your music. And I think of course you're influencing the crypto warriors with the projects you choose and that you are behind and that you do. And again, I think you're dancing a bit around the topic of the gatekeeping. I know Bitcoin say I keep on using CoinMarketCap just because I feel like it. That's what you said on that other show. Okay, fine. If that's what it is, then there's nothing I can say. But just because that beef came about was because we see you joining into the gatekeeping of Hex, of not purposeful, not mention it and not talk about it?
No, so when it comes to projects, like in general, we never wake up and say, like, if anything, the only project we wake up and say something like positive about is Bitcoin. The rest, the chips are going to fall, they're going to fall. If you hear Bitcoin today talk about Ethereum, I actually was talking about this on a podcast yesterday. A guy was saying Ethereum is decentralized. I was like, depends on you ask. You ask Zay, he's going to mention the DAO exploit in that fork. He's going to say Ethereum Classic technically is real Ethereum. And
70% pre-mine
and proof of
stake.
So that's Ethereum. So like we literally can go down the list like that. And for me personally, when I look at most projects, I say, well, why can't Bitcoin do this? So again, we don't have any feelings toward any of the projects. When it comes to most altcoins, personally, I just want to trade those to make more Bitcoin. I don't have, because most altcoins, I don't see the long-term play. I literally do not see the long-term play with most altcoins. Now, as far as the influencer thing, I was looking for this old Rasheed Wallace clip when he was like, I ain't your kid's role model. Like, no, I'm pushing back against the influencer thing. We talk about crypto, like this past week has been the first time we've ever done any advertising on YouTube. We're advertising because we have a masterclass now. Outside of promoting this masterclass and the books Bitcoin Zay does, like, I feel like personally, an influencer comes into social media trying to influence. I'm on this, I'm doing this every day, all this, like, look at me, I'm trying to build a following. Like, that has never been our goal. Which is why we're still pretty small. It's never been our goal to say we need to have the most numbers, the biggest this. If that were the case, then like literally we would be talking more altcoins, because that is what brings in the audiences. But we do not do that. So right now, as we do more sponsorships and advertising, and we're doing more outreach, we're doing that because the Warriors are asking us, hey, can you bring on Cardano something? Can you bring on, again, the Hex thing started off, let's be clear, Hex started off because of Jams. Jams started to come on at Bitcoin Fridays, just like yourself, and he started talking about the glory of Hex. You know, the first couple of weeks we pushed back, he kept coming on, he showed numbers, he converted some people are still staunched against it. Regardless, that's good discourse for people to have when it comes to projects. But as far as like favoring a project, honestly, if Hex were, the only reason I would hate for Hex to die is because so many people are involved in it. That would be it. Other than that, I could care less if Hex wins or loses, if Ethereum wins or loses, if Cardano wins or loses. I could care less. I'm in and out of these projects trying to buy more Bitcoin. So that is the kind of take on when it comes to all altcoins as well.
Yeah, it's all the Hexicans out there. If you believe in the project, we've had Jams on. We've had, like you say, you're on right now. We've had other people on that have spoken about it. If you believe in it, why are you worried about what we say about it? I don't understand. I mean, I believe in Bitcoin. That's why I don't care when people talk about altcoins, because all roads lead to Bitcoin anyway. So if Hex is great, should be great whether or not we talk about nomics or whether other sites talk about nomics, because our Hexicans pushing for everyone to use nomics. Is that the case? Because if so, then yeah, it looks a little fishy. But if Hex is great, you don't need us. So I don't even see the argument. But again, like I said, I just don't like people getting in their feelings and then starting to call people out their name, especially when, like I said, these people are not outside. They do not show up in physical places. They don't come to conferences.
Well, they're not teaching people too. That's my thing. It's like
they're not in these streets. They're not out and about like I am and like King is. So again, the online stuff is cool. You can say whatever you want, but the biggest thing to me is it feels like a lot of Hexicans. It feels cultish when you have to defend a digital coin by trying to come at people for using a site that doesn't promote your digital coin. It just is kind of weak to me. So here you can holler at old boy in Virginia. I don't know his name. Get him on here, because I'd rather talk to him, because you cool with Cryptomatic. Like I said, I understand you're pushing for Hex, cool. But the other dude, that's who I'd rather.
Yeah, and shout out to DJ Cryptomatic. Yeah, shout out to DJ Cryptomatic for at least coming on live.
That's our anthem. You should have picked another song to diss him on, not our anthem, man. That's
Will's
our
only
war
is in
drum.
the chat. He says it looks fishy to recommend an unbiased source. Will's only, call in. We just talked about it. Your founder is a Hexican. But seriously, DJ Cryptomatic, we're going to give you the last word. Thanks for calling in. Again, at least you called in to give your point of view. So we definitely will give you the last word. Let us know what you have.
All right. No, thanks again for having me and for being open and having us this discussion. I appreciate that. And again, as you said, Bitcoin Zay, why do we care about you? In fact, we don't, but Hexes will do its thing regardless. But I had really thought, and some other hexagons too, because there were hexagons from that Richard Hart show that then went and gave your channel a subscribe and a follow. So you got some new people from that. And the disappointment is really there, because we have thought, because of the crypto warriors that I had interview with Richard, that we had made some progress there, versus the gatekeeping of hex. It's not about nomics. We don't need you to do a bit about a hex or anything. It's really, we're constantly seeming to, it's a fight against windmills. We're being blocked everywhere, and all these accusations that there have been about hex for the past 2 years, almost 2 years, have never come true. Not one single thing that has been fudded about has come true. So yeah, we'll keep on trucking. And again, thank you for having me on your show.
Hey, thanks for being on.
Appreciate you coming on, bro.
All right, we got Steven coming on next. We have Steven coming on next. Actually, Steven's a long time supporter of ours as well. One thing I want to show everyone really quick, hold on, before Steven comes on, because I just saw people say, listen, keep trying to tell y'all, we got to do it every week. We will do it every week. It is based off the gentleman of Cali. It is not based off of any other gentleman out there. The gentleman of crypto is based off of the real gentleman of Cali. You all can Google that, but they were a Colombian crime cartel. So for everyone who always says this isn't gentlemanly, that's the point. We're not trying to be gentlemanly. We have Bitcoin, we have our own stuff. We just sharing information. If people listen, great. If they like it, cool. If they don't, cool. We're not trying to roadblock or gatekeep anything, but obvious bad projects that will lose us all a lot of money and peace. But yeah, so
if you need evidence that we don't care that much, we don't monetize any of our videos. We literally do this for free because we used to just wake up and talk about crypto every day. So we just come on, talk to you all. We got a structure now, we got a crowd, we got people. So of course people think, oh yeah, you're an influencer now because of what you said influences you. When in reality, our whole message, and anybody who watches this knows, is you should be able to make the choice for yourself. Stop being influenced by people who get on camera and tell you to do something. Maybe that's the reason why you lose money. That's why we don't call ourselves influencers. Don't listen to us. Listen to what we say.
Do your own research.
Do your own research. Even my book, Bitcoin in Black America, is literally about self-sufficiency. You individually, what can you, as a Black person in America who has seen what's happened, do individually? It's not about you and the whole group. This we are the world, kumbaya shit is fake. You individually, what can you do? So again, the influencer tag, I understand, but I guess because the numbers are up, maybe people think we're influencing people. We're influencing people to be self-sufficient. If there's anything we're influencing, but other than that, we're not trying to make you do anything. Do what you want.
And
that's a free money.
And to be real, people, by the numbers. Hey, let's talk about masterclass. Let's talk about books. Like we have the numbers and let's talk about masterclass. If we were going to say, you know what, if you didn't get the masterclass, as we start to do the videos for the people who bought it, or we're going to do our month and a halves for the people who bought the masterclass. That's only going to be a few hundred people max. So it's not going to be 18,000 subscribers. It's not going to be 1,000 hexagons. So ask yourself that, like, how have we actually supported this channel, right? And if you have, and we know the names of people. That's how we know the names, because we see the same names throughout the year. So for people out there saying you guys should use nomics and all that, I'll push back to you from a business point of view. Why? How would this help my business? Please tell me, and maybe we can move forward. But all right, we've had that talk again. Shout out to DJ Cryptomatic for calling in. He held his own down. He had his thoughts, and that's what it is.
Cryptomatic, what up, bro?
That other guy, though, hey, I'm gonna be in Kwame Brown's truck looking for you when I go to Virginia. Steven, we got Steven Aggie on the line. What's up, Steven from Toronto?
Steven.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, King. Good morning, Jay.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I would be on video, but Cryptomatic took up so much of my time. I'm on the move now, so.
Oh, it's all good. Everything works out.
Now. But yeah, so I'm calling it. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I'm a longtime supporter of Gentlemen of Crypto, a longtime subscriber. A lot of people see me as S1 Dubs. You probably didn't know I was S1 Dubs. So yeah, just wanted to call and thank you guys because of all you've done. I know you guys made me quite a bit of money, so I wanted to say that. Another thing I like to say.
Hold on, Steven. Appreciate that. I don't want to gloss over that. Like, of course, Steven has his own portfolio. He knows how to make moves. He actually made. I remember we talked earlier this year, and you made you did an alternate route basically, and it paid off big for you as well. But Yeah, like we've talked throughout the year. So shout out to Steven for sure.
Oh yeah, shout out to you.
Yeah. So another thing is that people talk a lot of trash and they never call into your shows on Friday. So now I'm calling to the show on Friday to give both of you guys some smoke.
This is good.
Trying to have some fun now.
Yeah.
So on when you guys had Da Vinci on, and you asked him what he thought about Cardano, and he was saying that it wasn't real, didn't have any apps and that kind of thing. And Zay and King, you guys both laughed and say, "Well, I've been trying to tell people," and that kind of thing. You know, when he started and I'm not a big Cardano fan, but I think the way it's being characterized, I think I want to reset it, and this is what I'm calling to give you guys smoke on. So when he started the project Cardano, he said he was taking the long, slow road, right? And we know that the software development life cycles for these big blockchain projects is pretty long, and the roadmaps don't really mean much, right? The roadmaps are just an approximate. They're going to miss dates and that kind of thing. The same thing happened with Ethereum, and everybody was dogging Ethereum for missing all kinds of dates. But now that Ethereum has reached a certain point, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon as if those things never happened. It's going to take a long time. It reminds me of when you're young and your mom had like cookies or pies in the oven. You kept going to the oven and saying, "Is it done yet?" And she's like, "No, 5 minutes." You go back in 5 minutes. "Is it done yet?" "No, you got to wait. When it's done, it's done." So I believe the whole thing about when Da Vinci said about not having apps, it's not going to have apps yet. It's going to take a while. The software development lifecycle for these kind of blockchain projects is long and it's difficult. And Jay knows that all that development is ultra difficult if you want to do it right. We just saw a hack this week, right? So would you rather them miss dates and take a longer time to get it right, or just rush something out there to please everybody to say, "Hey, we met a timeline"? That's one thing. Go ahead, Jay.
I would say as a developer, somebody in the tech space, oh yeah, I'm all about moving slow and actually building the correct stuff. The biggest thing is the timing. So when you talked about Ethereum, got the same criticism. That was 2015, 2016. There were literally almost no other smart contract platforms available. Cardano is doing the same thing, moving slow, so to say. But their problem is their competition is already better. Solana, Polkadot, Ethereum, they all actually have something that they can show that they're actually doing. So my argument was with Cardano is moving slow is fine, but this market moves fast. People will forget about you really quick when the price isn't pumping, because I don't care about the bull market. I mean, Cardano can pump to $10 right now. The problem is in a bear market, if there's nothing built, there's no reason to use it. That's when these projects ultimately die. And that's when you see them drop out the top 10, top 20, and then they kind of go away forever. That was my only argument, because I've seen other projects do the same thing. And because they're moving slow, the problem is if Solana takes off, if Polkadot takes off, if Binance Smart Chain takes off, if Ethereum is still pushing, where does that leave Cardano if they're still moving slow? Because 3 years from now, they could have a product. Cool. But who's going to wait 3 years in a market where everything else is going crazy? So right now, it's pure speculation. That's all I was agreeing with Da Vinci with was,
and it's all,
you can make money, but as far as a actual built out project, I don't see it right now. And I think they're pandering a lot with the African stuff. Don't really see any African development going on. But again, it does take time. I would rather you move slow. You're correct. But I know the crypto market, that doesn't come across because most people aren't tech people like I am.
Yeah. And I think as far as are they doing anything? Do they have the apps? No, but they are doing something. And this goes over to King. I'm going to direct this towards you, King. So they went to Ethiopia to start with, and people say, well, they're only dealing with the records, students' records, and all that kind of stuff, right? But think about it, King. You have Ethiopia. You have them building the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which is almost done, which will industrialize the nation. Now they have to deal with Western-backed TPLF terrorists that are trying to take over the country now to try to get control of that dam.
I was going to say Western back, but I was going to bring that up. So I was like, go ahead. You want to go geopolitics? You know, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know you're ready. So they're doing that. But think about this. If they're able to push back on the TPLF and get through that whole thing, and the duly elected president is able to move on, how is he going to be looking? The other countries that are around Ethiopia are already trying to put in deals for electricity. What position does that put Cardano in if you just were attacked by the West, were able to thwart them back, and your neighbors now want your electricity and they want willing to pay you for it? Now you're looking at Cardano a little differently because you're saying, hey, we just got attacked by the West. Let's take a look at this blockchain and see what we can do with this as far as payments and that kind of thing so that we don't get attacked by them financially. This is a huge deal if they can pull it off. It's all speculative. It's going to take a little maneuvering. But if they can pull this off, that's a huge deal rather than have a bunch of apps from most of them, which are going to be garbage, right? There's only going to be a small percentage of the apps that put on Cardano that are going to be worth anything. Imagine if you can get a country to adopt your blockchain and to start moving payments on it because they were just attacked by the West and they want to reduce their vulnerability. People have to look beyond, you know, just, hey, do they have any little apps? Because, you know, most of the apps are going to be garbage, right? They're not going to do anything. So am I saying that Cardano is going to be a success? No, but I just think that the way that we're looking at some of these projects, we need to reevaluate. Them. And these blockchain projects in particular with all these apps, let's look at the quality apps that are on there. What percentage of the apps on there are actually going to be around and actually making a difference? So that's my smoke for both of you guys is take a step back and let's take another look at Cardano. Not to say that they're going to be successful because we don't know, but let's take a look at everything that they're doing and put it in a more fair light. So that's my take.
For me to be to be seriously unbiased in my take when it comes to Cardano, like I want to separate two things because people, again, it's almost a similar argument with the Hex community. Like price action does not equate to value. So I see Kadeem K. What's up, Kadeem? Kadeem said ADA went up 90x from the bottom of the pandemic. There weren't any large caps doing that. All right. So as far as the money proposition of that being a value proposition for some people to say, hey, I get USD. And not saying you, Steve, I know you're, an intelligent investor, but we got to bring the smoke since you did it. But let's say, look at it from like a dollar proposition, USD proposition, right? Like, yes, there is a lot of room for growth. Cardano could probably go to 40 to 80 bucks, like easily off of the hype as it starts to pump, right? So that part, if you're looking to make money, of course, I think there is still a lot of juice left to be squeezed in the next 2 to 3 years, because this is going to happen next 2 to 3 years. I think next 2 to 3 years, that little meme I just had, it's going to happen. They're going to pull the mask off. The guy's going to be nothing there. I think that project's going nowhere fast. I think it's a big hype train. I think that hype train is going to increase the price. It's going to get everybody excited. And if we're lucky, they'll rebrand or they'll spin off and do something else with all the money they'll make from this. But I just don't see it happening. And the reason why I don't see it happening is, as you already mentioned, the geopolitics that are actually going on in Ethiopia. Let's say they actually do get something built up in Ethiopia. Regulators in the country and pressure from regulators outside of the country who have all types of stuff. Like, let's say they do something in Ethiopia and it takes off. Well, Ethiopia is also the spot where a lot of the piracy is coming from through the Straits of Malacca. That alone is going to make governments like the United States say you guys are funding terrorists. Like somewhere along that continuum, that topic is going to come up. So when you have geopolitics involved, we have competition from other projects who are far ahead of you, like Ethereum, like it looks like Solana. And then when you don't have a product that in 2021, you don't have a product I can play with and you're doing the media tour, shut up. You shouldn't be talking. Go get with your developers and come back with an actual product. I don't know. I think by and large, by the time Cardano goes online, by the time they actually prove their use case, it'll be too late. And I don't think by the time they do it too, they'll have anything that's just that innovative to make other developers and other people in the crypto space say, I'm gonna jump over to ADA outside the price point. I think the value proposition won't be there. It's super speculative. And again, my only thing is if you want to make money, okay, but as far as a long-term investment, like how many projects have literally done the same type of media run? Like I think I talked about this on the podcast yesterday. I think we're all too optimistic about the best case scenario and not the realistic case scenario or the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is that Cardano does launches. It works. They have some killer apps. more money's being flooded into it. It goes to top 3, top 2 type of deal, right? That's the best case scenario. And then when that happens, as I mentioned yesterday on 2 different podcasts, this is going to happen next. Regulators are going to come after it. Oh, you know, you were doing this. This was legal back in 2021. Hackers are going to finally really come after it. All the top hackers who wasn't paying attention because you weren't in top 5, top 3, they're going to come after it. Scaling. Yeah, now you need to scale while regulators and hackers are coming after you from every direction. Oh, and by the way, now you need to train more people who come. Like literally just so much that business and that actual project would need to do all at once. I don't see it happening in 2022, 2023. They're going through all those issues while Ethereum and everybody else is just like, oh, well, I guess we won't capitalize on this. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, my question with most all altcoins has always been the same. Cardano, you are technology. You're trying to use technology for good. Why do you need a token? Why does ADA even exist? Because to interact with it, if you have to use it, that just gives people another step to interact with it. Actually, don't really need the ADA token. And also, too, I have a problem with the POS, which I call the piece of shit consensus mechanism. Proof of stake is, to me, the biggest scam because whoever holds the most makes the decisions. And I can already see long-term proof of stake. Ethereum is about to switch to it, but Cardano's been on proof of stake already. So it doesn't really rub me the right way. But again, I keep telling people this market is so early that if you want to make money off of trading these speculative coins, Cardano is one of the ones that's going to increase in price because it is a competitor to Ethereum. We've said that, I don't know, a dozen times on here. Anything that's competing with Ethereum is going to raise in price. So yeah, people can make money from it. People can make money from Polkadot, Solana, BSC, whoever. All these smart contract platforms, decentralized app platforms, they can make money. However, as far as long-term use case, not seeing it right now. And again, I think Charles is pandering a bit with Africa stuff because it does impress Black people to say that you're in Africa with developers and that you're developing there. So it's just my take on it. And with Charles, show me something, Charles.
With that, I agree that he's running his mouth too much. At first, he didn't, and he should have stayed on that road. He's running his mouth too much.
He shouldn't have. You're right. He was right when he wasn't running it.
And now that he's in geopolitics, you really should be shutting your mouth. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything until something's ready to go. But this is the mistake that a lot of guys make when they're in this space. They don't understand what King understands. They don't understand public relations, and they don't understand that side of it. So they just come out and just run their mouths all over the place. And as far as the price action, all of this stuff, like you said, Zay, is all speculative. Yeah. I will say this, however, they have over 70% of their coins staked. That to me is something. I mean, it does say that they're not going to be as vulnerable to a lot of wild price action because if it stays over 70%, that's good for it because who's going to be selling, right? So if you can stake over 70%, you can only have so much price action. So I think that's another point. Wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
For sure. Bitcoin say?
I'm saying you have to repeat that last part. You kind of low.
No, I was just saying that they're their coins staked over 70%. What is your thoughts on how that might affect the price or make it kind of impervious to a lot of strong movements?
So Jizzy Mac just took the words out of my mouth. It was hilarious. I was looking at the comments at the same time. Jizzy Mac said it's 70% because that's all you can do with it. I was gonna say the same thing. Like on wallets, most wallets allow for Cardano staking now. It only makes sense because again, from the speculative play, I think the next year that price could still run up crazy. So from a speculative play, I would see why they stake it. But no offense, to the Hexagons, but that's just like someone saying, well, Hex, exactly. See, you're laughing. You know what I'm saying? Like you can stay there with a bunch of coins. Like, I mean, if I could stake Shiba Inu right now, is that the best? I mean,
every dollar you put in your bank account is staked. For a reason, because you get in there, you get that 0.05%. The entire economy is staked. You put your money in there, you keep it in there. It just gives you incentive to keep it into the project. Then when you figure out it's bullshit, what do? You take it out, which is what I think may happen to Cardano. When you say there's nothing, think about 2 years from now. The development of Bitcoin, I think, will be past 6 figures. The other altcoins may have taken off. Cardano's price may have gone up. But what I'm saying is use case wise, if people are saying this has utility, this has use case, I see a lot of those stakers dropping off because they're like, all right, I'm gaining Cardano, but it's not doing anything for me. So I don't know. We'll see at that point. But if that's one of the only use cases, I have heard Cardano, you can issue NFTs, but you can issue NFTs on
But
every coin.
I'm not a big
So
NFT guy
that's
just
not
yet.
that's not a big
Yeah.
movement for me. Or
Hey,
but
listen.
I'm with you when those, like I said, we got to have a fair argument about Cardano. I want some of them to come in and call us and tell us why it's so great. But you know, not just Cardano, but other projects as well.
It's
Hey,
not
Steve,
ready yet, man. It's not even close to being ready.
Yeah.
I'm calling. I'm either
Not
giving
even
you a
close.
call or I'm shooting you an email early 2023, late 2023. I'm like, get out now.
Hey, listen. You may send it to me, or I may send it to you first.
That's true. Hey, listen, that is true.
But for now, I'm having fun with it. But I'm just keeping my eye on it, and I just hope that everyone out there just do your own research, look into what's going on. All of this stuff is speculative, even Bitcoin, and we just got to keep our eyes and ears open on what's going on out here. But let's be fair, guys. Let's just be fair.
Right.
That's the only thing.
I appreciate
Hey,
it.
thanks for calling in,
Hey,
Steven.
no problem.
Again, S1 Dubs, much appreciated. Long time work. I'll tell you this, folks. This is a good thing about when we talk about the troll box to chat. That was S1 Dubs right there. I've spoken to him on the phone before, Zooms, emails. Very intelligent investor, has done very well with his own portfolio. So again, we're all not going to agree on stuff, but you all are doing your own research in the chat box. So I'm glad to see in the chat box, even right now, people talking about Post Chain. Looks like Cardano, Hex, a little few Ripple folks in there. We are glad you're having these conversations in the chat box because, like I said, there's some intelligent investors in there. I'm telling you, S1 Dubs is a very intelligent investor in this space. I can tell you that as a fact. So shout out to him. And then again, for everybody hating, you heard what he said. He's like, hey, you brothers made me some money too. There we go. Hey, we all in here.
Hey, shout out to Roland Withers. I love this quote. Don't marry these coins. You will be left at the altar.
There it is.
That's all we're saying. We're telling you these coins, these are one-night stands. These are flings for the summer. You get in, you get out,
Hilarious.
and then you move on, and then you go back to the real thing, Bitcoin, who you really want to marry.
You got to go back home to your family.
Yeah.
All right? You got to go home to the family.
Exactly. You still got to go back home.
You got to go home to the family.
All these other coins are just little flings. You get them.
You got to go home to the family. All right, like you got to. All right, she knows a lot. All right. One thing before we have Reggie come on live, we want to announce our Bitcoin meetup. It's we got a location for it. Looks like Bitcoin meetup in LA is going down next Saturday.
Bitcoin meetup August 21st, next Saturday from 8 p.m. to midnight.
Hey, we in here.
Come through. Scott by Mondrian will be there. We'll put out more details, but just at the beginning, just to know, it's free for anybody to come in. We're gonna have a few stars out there, people who are into crypto. You've seen on TV, you've seen them in sports. So I'll just put that out there. Won't put any names, but we'll put more information out coming up this week so that if you're in the Southern California area, come on out. The biggest Bitcoin meetup in the area. Have not seen a Bitcoin meetup in this area that I think will be this big.
Yeah, we're about to. This is gonna be the biggest crypto meetup in LA. Period.
Easiest one. Yeah, and like I said, the people we have scheduled to come out, I'm sure you'll be very, very surprised, but also very happy with the crowd that we bring out. A lot of smart people, a lot of newbies coming in, a lot of people in the industry. This is LA, so you may see some faces recognized. But again, we want to make sure you come out, meet with us, talk with us. We'll have all of our stuff going. It'll be a cash bar. We'll have our VIP section with tickets available for people. And then, of course, we'll have the general area.
I'm finding out about this.
If you want to just ask general questions, like I said, we'll be there. So, yeah, definitely. August 21st, look out for it. Sky Bar, Mondrian. We'll have more details this week.
And if also we'll be looking for sponsors for that. I think we already actually have a couple, but also want to shout out Cryptomatic again. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this newsletter. Cryptomatic is the first one. Get that free cryptocurrency startup guide, 15 pages, and they actually mentioned Cardano in there as well. Since they mentioned it, it's a win for them. Since they mentioned it, Cardano's already went up like 20 or 30%. But again, they're offering free cryptocurrency news and resources at cryptovantage.com. And that is one of our sponsors here for the next few months. So shout out to cryptovantage.com. Again, literally all they want you to do the next 4 weeks is sign up for their newsletter. And then after that, the next 4 weeks, they're going to be having a big giveaway that's definitely going to have a lot of people going to that website. I can't wait for it to actually announce that. All right, we got Reggie here. What's going on, Reggie? How you doing today, Reggie?
I'm all right, brothers. How are y'all?
Good. What's up, Reggie? How you doing, brother?
So I just I tuned in, and I got probably the tail end of your conversation with the Hex promoter.
Oh, it's Reggie Middleton. Oh, Reggie Middleton. What's going on? We weren't sure. We have another Reggie has been calling in from Fabcoin, so we weren't sure if this is the project one. We got Reggie Middleton on the line.
It's a good looking Reggie.
What's the word? What's the word, Reggie?
Now, so I caught in the tail end, and I was listening to you all, and I didn't get the whole conversation, so I can only speculate. But it seems as if, and tell me if I'm wrong, that the Hex community came a little aggressively at you because you asked pertinent questions. Is that guess accurate?
Yeah, they weren't happy we weren't using Nomics as our price aggregator in the morning. So yeah, they definitely came at us super aggressive.
Okay, and that, like I said, I've been pretty strong global macro investor for a while, about 20 years now. You know, that's a sign. Okay, that's a sign right there. Okay, if you believe in your thesis, if you have a strong thesis, you want as many contrarian perspectives as possible, because that helps harden your thesis. Okay, they want you to use a single site, okay, to measure anything. And anybody looking into Hex, that's a sign. Now, as you know, or I don't, as you know, but I don't know if all the viewers know, I'm not a big fan of Hex, and there's several questions you can ask. It's approvable unregistered security, very easy approval. Just look it up. It's a legal Ponzi, a legal pyramid, and now apparently they are obviously infringing upon someone else's intellectual property, filing a patent. These things are easily dismissible. Just get up and dismiss it. Don't send in memes. Don't talk about people's mother. Don't use foul language. Just factually dismiss it. Everybody you've had on Hex, I don't think anybody's factually dismissed any of these assertions. Am I correct?
Not that I'm saying. Most of it's just been, why haven't you promoted us?
Right. So, you know, the caution sign. I'm not going to say don't invest in Hex, do invest in Hex. But when you do research, do real research. Hex has a zero value proposition. It's a smart contract that has a token, and it splits that token in half and gives you half the original token. That's it. That's essentially it. So I'm going to give you my opinion. Hex is a scam. It's not even a good scam. Some scams are good. You know what I mean? So it looks good. Hex is not even a good scam, but it's promoted by a guy who, you know, sits in front of his Rolex watches and his Louis Vuitton shirts, and he talks about how all the Black crypto founders are getting in trouble. Again, that doesn't sound like the gist of a strong leader. You know, so
well, I would definitely say that was the response I had on Twitter for some of them. I was like, the way you all are coming at me over a price aggregator, I messaged some of them. I was like, to me, I was open. I was seriously, you know, becoming more and more open to Hex. I was like, that part's red flag. I was like, if the code, if the software and everything's that good, and not just Hex, for any project, if any project is that good, it shouldn't matter about all this other stuff. Like Bitcoin has been called criminal on national TV by the same people offering Bitcoin now, you know, Jamie Dimon and stuff, like MasterCard, a basket of junk. So it's one of those things where when all of that was happening, like we cover the news, so we talk about it, but it's like we didn't think about that throughout the day. Nobody cared because it's like the code is working. I can send and receive Bitcoin. So whatever they're calling it, I don't care. So that was my only thing from the Twitter stuff. It was just like, you all are getting super aggressive on Twitter about not even the project itself, but where the project is being or not being listed at. I'm like, I don't have, like, if the project is good, it doesn't matter. So I will admit that was a big red flag.
If you got yourself money in Hex, just say that.
From a fundamental investor perspective, right? If the project has fundamental value, price does not matter that much. If the price of Bitcoin went down to 45 cents, and you guys should know, I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm not even a Bitcoin fan, right? But if the price of Bitcoin went down to 45 cents per token, I'm backing the truck up, because the underlying fundamental value of Bitcoin is more than 45 cents per token, right? Bitcoin is lightly, but still programmable, lightly programmable money that has its own transportation rails. And it's been hardened to a point that is greater than almost every other financial institution on this planet, right? I'm not bullish on Bitcoin because it's lost its way, but at 45 cents, I don't care what Nomics says, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, or your great Uncle Petunia. It doesn't really matter to me, okay? Every time you make an empirical argument against Hex, like the 1933 Securities Act clearly says it's a security, they say, look at the chart. right? If you go on price alone, you're just a speculative trader and a gambler, which if that's what you are, cool. But anybody wants to make a fundamental investment, stick to the fundamentals, right? And when the price goes below the fundamental value, that's a buy sign. When the price goes above the fundamental value, that's a sell sign or hold. If you think the fundamentals will reach the price. If not, get out of it. It's real simple. So that's all I have to say.
Hey, Reggie, as always, this is Reggie Middleton. If you don't know, Crypto OG, much appreciate you calling in, Reggie. Thank you.
No problem at all. Y'all keep up the good work, fellas. And I see your following is growing. So kudos.
You know you got.
Hey, Reggie, if you got a chance, come out to LA August 21st for our meetup, man. We'd love to have you.
August 21st.
August 21st.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Okay.
And you know you got the Hexkins in the chat going crazy, so you might get some pushback. Just let you know there.
Listen, every time I mention Hex, you know, one of the community members, the very community members, are doing patent infringement analysis, and they caught Hex, and you know, it looks like they're infringing, but I can't say anything. They destroy my Twitter feed. They talk about your mother and this and that, and the memes and everything. You know, it's. Listen, you make the community, the project look bad when you do that.
I will agree on that. They do make, and I'll be fair. There isn't everyone, because there was a good pushback from Hexkins on our Twitter. It was like, hey, this ain't everybody. This is just isolated. And I did come out and say, hey, I'm speaking about 8 specific Hexkins at most. So there's definitely 8 toxic ones, but I will say that you know a lot of them have been pretty good too as well. Some of them are some Hexkin warriors. So shout out. But hey, you're coming with your facts. They need to come with theirs, man. Thanks again, Reggie.
Yeah, make a challenge with all the Hexicans. Do a search for certificate of deposit on the Securities Act of 1933. And then when it says certificate of deposit, tell Mr. Hart or anybody to answer that. Answer it before the SEC gets to it. But of course, it looks like they're not going to bother Hex, so it's not an issue. But that doesn't mean it's legal. Okay? And it's a risk if you deal in an illegal project. It's a risk. Okay. I'm out, brother.
Reggie.
Okay.
And Harold George, thank you for the tip. It's crazy that Harold George tipped us and said this, and then Reggie called in. Harold said, coins and geopolitics is messy. Reggie Middleton has certain understandings with some countries and government officials until they LOL and flipped on them. Politicians always try to re-up their sharks. So that I will agree with. And that's what I was saying about Cardano. I'm like, listen, like, you think some of these governments and world leaders are going to forget you helping Ethiopia when we're not friends with them or we have other business there? Like, it's not. I just don't see a clear. I think he's, for one, aligning himself with the wrong countries, and I think he's probably doing that because the countries and places he wants to align himself with, Ethereum is probably already there. Looks like Solana is starting to get in there. All these other projects are breaking into that area. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna take some of these countries that others aren't going after, or they're not going after them for a reason. And I'm with you, Harold George. If you start talking geopolitics and you're a project founder, you're a CEO, they got somebody to go after, like a human to go after, is very risky for yourself and that project. So for sure, shout out. That's crazy. You mentioned Reggie. He came on live. So shout out to Reggie Middleton. Untwisting the game from Crypto. Thank you for the tip on twisting the game. Crypto, thank you, thank you, thank you. I see you all are going crazy in the comments about Reggie. Reggie, love him or hate him, he's a crypto OG, so we definitely appreciate him calling in. Reggie Middleton was, of course, the founder of Veritasium, that project. But again, everyone is in the it's the Hexicans and some of the other folks are going back and forth. So Reggie has his own army here, it looks like, but they definitely have to fight a war. It's not.
That's between y'all. Y'all got to fight that offline. Hey.
There we go. DJ Cryptomatic is like, nah, bro, we are mostly cool people and having a lot of fun while staking and not trading our coins. There we go. Shout out to that. Yeah, shout out to DJ Cryptomatic again for calling in.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
All right, we have any more callers? It looks like maybe 15 more minutes worth.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Cover some quick stories. Give it a couple minutes. We'll cover the quick stories. If we have any more smoke, please call in, folks. FTX.US aiming to offer crypto derivatives trading in less than a year is being reported. We were talking this morning about how FTX had bought Blockfolio, and the app just got updated again the other day. For 2 weeks, it said FTX Blockfolio, and now it literally just says FTX. So there's no bang, bang. Blockfolio didn't make it out of 2021. They had a great run.
Well, like not folio.
Hilarious. It was a great run. I used to use, I still have Blockfolio on my phone. It's good if you want price alerts. You can actually set specific price alerts, percentage swings. They have news articles. sell. They call them like buy indicators, but it's really just like big major updates. But Blockfolio did a pretty good job, and it looks like FTX has officially taken it over. And again, this is the article about it. What's going on with the story?
Oh man, so of course FTX US, which is buying up everything. They intend to offer crypto derivative trading in less than a year. They see two ways to achieve that goal. They either launch their own service, which will require a license, or by acquiring a company. And I'm pretty sure they're going to go to the latter because it's a lot easier to just buy a company who has all the infrastructure, all the software, APIs, all this documentation in place, rather than building from scratch. You can do it yourself, but it takes a little bit more time. So it says here in quote, we definitely hope to be able to offer them inside of a year. Harrison told the publication, and quite frankly, we could have or should have started a long time ago, but we're definitely interested in going through the process and collaborating with the CFTC to be able to offer those products in the US. So I'm pretty sure with the amount of money they have coming in, FTX can easily buy a crypto derivatives platform. They can easily take it as their own. They got Blockfolio. They bought the naming rights to the stadium of Miami Heat. They got the naming rights for a soccer team. Don't see this being a big problem. So shout out to FTX. They're moving. They're like Binance in 2017. They're moving so fast, buying everything. It seems as though at this point, but they're making the right moves where they can't be taken down. So shout out to FTX.
You know what? They are like Binance in 2017. And with that, let's talk about that. People said, hey, Binance bought CoinMarketCap. It might be manipulated. They bought all these companies. They made all these changes. And also some of that happened with Binance. As they rose to prominence, a lot of crypto exchanges, started falling, coming under attack. Things were happening, right? Something I didn't think of just now. I got to give a shout out to Carmelo. BK keeps on taking bits. Said, no, that N-word newsletter made him leave Blockfolio to go to Delta. What if, what if FTX was behind that N-word hack newsletter that kept happening? Like, what if that was a play to weaken Blockfolio, come in and be like, hey,
we'll take it
we'll buy it. Y'all over here seeing the N-word, we'll buy it up off you. What if that was the actual play and FTX is behind it? Again, nothing surprised me in this space. That would be crazy. If we get this sponsor next week from FTX, I'm like, it would never be part of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's official.
Family. Oh yeah.
Hilarious. Shout out Dave Chappelle. Poly Network hacker returns nearly all funds, refuses $500,000 white hat bounty. It looks like he was watching the show yesterday. Whoever the hacker is watching the show, he saw permission.io founder Charlie Silver saying he was gonna go to jail the way he was acting, and he was like, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this money back. Looks like the Poly did offer a bounty, but I have never responded to them. Instead, I will send all of their money back, said the hacker. I agree with Charlie from yesterday. This seems like someone is young who I think for the first time is realizing they're in over their head. I think they will be okay because they're giving the money back. Like they're kind of be okay. There still be consequences as far as like you're going to be found out at this point. Like you're doing too much talking back and forth. But what I will say is at least they gave the money back. And they're officially a real white hat hacker, kind of a gray hat, maybe. I don't know. What do you think about this?
Well, it is kind of weird because it seems as though if you go to the bottom of that story, the hacker's identity has yet to be made public. But a Chinese cybersecurity firm, SlowMist, posted an update shortly after the news had broke, saying its analysts had identified the attacker's email address, IP address, and device fingerprint. So maybe they know who the person is technically as far as the device that they're using, but they haven't been able to grab them. Or they may be like, well, shit happens. And we may be able to hire this dude for us. But again, this 500K bounty, this is even worse than the 600K bounty that they put on Monero to try and crack the code. If I just stole 600 million, why would I take 500K? I could probably get a security firm to hire me for millions of dollars a year just to audit their projects, just to make sure this doesn't happen again. So whoever this kid is, I'm sure it seems like it's some 17-year-old kid who just realized his genius and is kind of just out there playing. Because you can kind of tell by the messages they kind of play around. But again, psychology-wise, if I was a real hacker at 32 years old, I would talk like a teenager. So people thought it was a kid.
That's actually
and they would be like, oh no, I'm actually a Russian cybersecurity expert who's been doing this for 20 years, and y'all are going around looking for somebody's high school student. When in reality, I'm somebody else. So yeah, it's just this is crypto, man. That's why I love it. But yeah, that 500K is kind of slapping the face.
Yeah.
Why would I take that?
This is hilarious. Trap Coin said, if you're not buying scams and selling the top, you're losing. Roland Wisher is hilarious. There's no thanks for returning stolen money. You're good to go. That's why I'm like, look, I mean, hackers should know better. That's why I just get the feeling this is a young hacker. People, some of this money, you gotta remember, some of this money in this space, which is why the government is trying to say protect you and stuff. Again, we're acknowledging everything isn't on the up and up. Of course, data says like less than 1 to 2% of transactions and money involved in crypto are supposed to be for nefarious activities, but there's still that 1 to 2%, right? So definitely not, I'm bringing that point up because if you're stealing $600 to $700 million off a DeFi platform, you better believe some of that money is in the hands of, like, it belongs to some people you don't want to steal money from. Like, that's just the bottom line. So you're not going to steal $600 to $700 million, and no one's going to find out, especially when you're doing AMAs. Maybe if you went radio silent, no one will find out. But you coming back to the crime scene, like, what happened here? It's like, oh, you think you funny? All right. You think this is a game? I got it. All right. Last but certainly not least, Benny the Butcher. It looks like we're talking NFTs. Rap and hip hop said we are not wasting time. Benny the Butcher announces NFT collection for the Plugs I Met anniversary. What's going on here?
Oh man, so Benny the Butcher, a popular rapper, is celebrating 2 years of his popular Plugs I Met album with a debut NFT collection on the Eureka marketplace, which is a new one. The upcoming NFT drop will be offered as an online auction starting yesterday, August 12th, and offer winners the opportunity to own a limited or exclusive music content, as well as personally connect with the Griselda Titan, which is the name of his group. It's set to include all the track utility videos from the Plugs I Met CD. He dissects each track, a personalized autograph, and the opportunity to watch him in concert via Zoom during his Burden of the Plugs tour. So plus you get virtual backstage pass access and a personal Zoom call with the artist. These are all things in a package that, for one thing, I've always told people, independent artists, they don't ever have to sign again. All of these things with your real fans can get you in a position because of NFTs. Even if you don't like NFTs or you think it's just JPEGs with a private key, whatever. When it comes to the music industry, this is life-changing for a lot of independent artists like Benny the Butcher. So shout out to him. We just saw Tory Lanez sell $1 million worth of his NFT in 57 seconds. If you think we're going backwards, you are sadly mistaken, my guy. And Benny the Butcher seems like he's doing the same thing.
There it is. This is pretty cool. I love where it actually says, let's see. My first NFT is dropping Friday, 8/13. Get your MetaMask wallet ready. The Butcher is coming. I call this a base hit, people. There are going to be thousands of people. It looks like already 18,000 plus people have asked themselves, what's MetaMask? What's a wallet? What's a MetaMask wallet?
What are you talking about?
Google, crypto, MetaMask, wait, Ethereum, price of Ethereum. Wait, it was just 2,000 last month. Like, this is the rabbit hole. That's that Bitcoin bug. So I'm glad to see all this stuff is happening. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Benny the Butcher and this NFT drop. And again, look at these people commented. Look, okay, I have MetaMask. What else I need to buy this collection? Boom, like base hit, people. You like, he literally just got someone into crypto that quick. All
Who knows about MetaMask? Like I said, you have to buy this. So you're gonna have dudes who really want this NFT. Now they got MetaMask. And then they're gonna figure out, think about Benny the Butcher's crowd.
Look at this, that's what I'm about to say. Think of his crowd. Where's the link to get the NFT? Dudes is still new to all this shit. Like, exactly. Like, the crowd's gonna get mad, like, hey, how to do it, bro? I want to get the CD, but I don't even know how to do it. Yeah. So I mean, again, just looking at the comments, it's pretty cool to see that more people are getting involved with NFTs and everything. So good to see. Look, smart business move. Everybody's hand clapping. Where I need parts. This is major. If this is a pump and dump, I'm gonna lose hope in Benny. Not even understanding how NFTs work, saying if it's a pump and dump. Like, again, people, that's how early we are, and super cool to see. All right, unless we have anyone else to call in with the smoke, again, a couple more minutes left if you might want to, but if not, want to give one more shout out to Cryptomatic, of course. That's one of this month's sponsor. You can check them out with this link at info.cryptomatic.com, info.cryptomatic.com/gentlemen-of-crypto to sign up for this newsletter. We'll put that link in the chat and at the bottom of the video. And again, all this newsletter gets you is the cryptocurrency news website, cryptomatic.com. The newsletter is going to give you a free cryptocurrency starter guide of 2021. We highly suggest if you're a beginner to go ahead and get it. Or if you know someone who's a beginner, sign up and send it to them as like a little free gift. It's free, but again, you also want to be signed up because next month they're doing. I got to keep saying it because I'm excited. I can't wait. It's a big giveaway, people. It's gonna be a nice little giveaway. Let's just call it a Crypto Vantage airdrop. Will be coming next month. So you want to be signed up for that email list. All right, looks like we got a couple more quick calls. All right, we'll do Lance. So really quick, we'll do Lance and then Gems, guys. Because we're nearing the end of the show, we can only give you both like a few minutes each. So please be respectful for that. I already know what Gems is about to say. We all do, but we'll get Lance first, and then we'll get Gems to close the show because I know he's gonna close with some fireworks. All right, Lance, what's going on, Lance?
What's up, Lance?
Lance, we got Lance Miller in the house. It looks like he's connecting to the audio. So as we wait, welcome to the show, Lance.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what we got here. Lance, can you hear us? He may still be connecting. Let's see, checking out some more stuff. Judah Toon said, glad I found crypto in 2018, still late, but not too far behind. You see how early you actually are? It's crazy.
So early, man. People thought they were late in 2017, 2018. Remember that?
Right.
People were like, man, did I miss it? And you're looking at them like, what are you talking about? Just started. And of course, 4 years from now, everybody is class of 2020, 2021. They're going to be like, man, I'm glad I got in there. Because now the Bitcoin's $1 million a piece and all the other cryptos went crazy. I would have been a fool to miss it back then.
There it is. Lance, can you hear us, Lance? What's going on? All right, so it looks like Lance may be having some audio troubles. We'll try to give you oh, there we go. Can you hear us, Lance? Okay, we're gonna bring Jams in while we try to get Lance up and running. Let's see. Oh, people are saying, I don't know who said it. Chappie said, I listened to that Tory Lanez I bought. What trash. Tory better not have put the worst songs on the NFT.
He put his 7 throwaways together.
He did. If he did, that's the worst move he could have made. He should have did 7 of the top songs that he has right now. So that's crazy. Oh yeah, here's that Crypto Vantage link. I see people asking. Yeah, Leroy Forrest said airdrop, say less. Exactly. So want to check it out. Jams, what's going on, Jams? First of all, shout out to Jams.
Jams, what up?
I appreciate Jams' discourse. He comes with his own research. He comes with his information. Everyone always doesn't agree on everything, but at least he comes on video and he's ready to have the talk. So shout out to Jams. Again, that's why I did want to be specific online. It wasn't all the hexagons out there. It's a lot of great hexagons. I was specifically talking to 8 or less people when I went out to the community. That's how much I respect Jams and what he's doing, folks. I'm going to make sure I make that clear right now. What's going on, Jams?
Yo, good morning, gentlemen. Hey, it's good to see y'all together, man. It's got the dream team.
Yeah,
MJ,
I hear the
Scotty
energy already, though, but I hear the energy, Jams.
Yes, sir. You know I got the smoke. But honestly, first, shout out to DJ Cryptomatic. Appreciate you coming on, brother. He's a good brother in the community, and he actually can DJ. I heard my man drop some 3-6 Mafia beats, and I'm like, damn, y'all listen to that in Germany? Okay.
Let's talk about.
Shout out to DJ Cryptomatic.
I'm not going to address the previous person because if you have been scammed by that project, the SEC says go to veryfairfund.com and you can collect your money back. Anyways, that says enough. What I actually came here to say is Pulse Chain final stats. I didn't drop them off last Friday. Yeah. I wanted to give them to y'all today. A total of $16 billion sacrificed for the Pulse Chain.
16 billion has been sacrificed.
$1 billion.
What 16
give us the website. Give me the website, Jams.
Pulselead.xyz hosts the first period, but the last period, Richard came through likely, or I'll say the 08 address came through with about 14 billion. So from the community at large, a little over 1 billion. The top wallet, that's 600. The top wallet, as you can see, has 29 billion sacrificed. So one wallet sacrificed 29 billion, but the OA sacrificed a little over like 14, 15 billion dollars. So this is the largest ICO raise ever. EOS was 4 billion. This is 16 billion. So 4x the economic energy behind it.
All right. So first, Jams, I got to say really quick, I'll give you 4 points some change. If you just said Richard, well, now somebody brought the 14 billion, somebody brought the 14 billion. So can we at least fairly say, let's say upper 4 or 5 billion?
What do you mean?
Because you just said one person brought the 14 billion.
Yeah, exactly. One person brought the 14, the other one plus is from the community at large. The largest wallet in the community at large is that 30 million that you see there.
So tell us this, how is this going to work? So they sacrifice it. What happens next?
Okay, so for every point assigned, 1.1 USD, and 1 point is equivalent to 1 pulse. So for 1 USD, you will receive 10,000 points or 10,000 pulse. So say, for instance, you sacrifice $2,500, not including the volume bonus or the multiplier. If you sacrifice 2,500 times 10,000, you're looking at right at 25 million pulse. And let's say pulse starts at 0.001, you're looking at right at $2,500. Pulse gets to a penny, you're looking at $250,000. So
what about the people who are late to the party? So they're late to the party. I said the sacrifice phase is over. What would you tell people from there?
Absolutely. So if the sacrifice phase has ended, and the only way that you will be able to get pulse is once mainnet launches, and you can go through the Uniswap version on Pulse to buy from the market. So if you did not sacrifice, you actually will not have an opportunity to get Pulse until Pulse Chain launches and you acquire from someone else.
There it is. So you're on this Pulse Chain train. When does this launch? When can we expect to hear back more? We definitely got to get Richard back within 72 hours. Hey, we want to see what happens. We got to bring him in.
Yeah, so we're looking at a timeline of probably September to October for the launch of mainnet. There's still some testnet going on now, but probably September to October, you should have your coins. And then remember, you're going to get the airdrop of all of your ERC20s and NFTs. So once that mainnet launches, you do want to go into access the Pulse Chain network so that you can access those PRC20s and NFTs.
Is that just for people? Is that just for people who sacrifice? Is that for everyone?
That's for everyone. That's for anybody with a self-custody wallet. So if you have a self-custody wallet with any ERC20s on it, the snapshot will happen. It will capture those ERC20s as PRC20s. And then when mainnet launches, you can go into your MetaMask, click the drop down to the Pulse Chain network. Your PRC20 versions will be there, and you can transfer them to any other PRC20 wallet that you want. So every NFT you have, you're going to get a copy of it on the Pulse Chain.
All right, so definitely want you back as that gets closer so you can get the announcement one more time. We're definitely going to be following it. Jake Fever got some smoke for you. You said Jake Fever said Trayvon James is second. What do you say to that?
Hey, actually, shout out to Trayvon James, man. I think he's doing good work on YouTube and Twitter, the community at large. He is a real Hexican. He's got his money where his mouth is.
Wait, so Trayvon James is a Hexican?
Trayvon's definitely a Hexican.
I didn't know that. So wait. I gotta ask you some questions.
Hey man, you gotta watch the company you keep. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I gotta ask you.
No. Like I know the history, and for me, we all make mistakes. Sometimes you can find the wrong project and get wrecked, and honestly, you can fall susceptible to wanting to make gains. And I don't hold that against him personally, like character-wise, because he wasn't intentionally trying to deceive people. He honestly may have believed that BitConnect was legit. And so I'm not.
Well, I got to push back there, because in 2017, when I first moved to Hollywood, he was on Hollywood Boulevard on live saying, "Hey, I'm in Hollywood right now. It's walking past the stars." I was like, I live down the street. I literally texted him that BitConnect was bullshit. It's a scam. Stop doing this. And he ignored me. He messaged me back and forth until I said that. He ignored me. I could have told him then. He could have avoided the entire case. He could have avoided everything. He didn't want to listen because, like you said, he got caught up in the hype. I think I can make a lot of money. He knew that it was some bullshit, and he understood that it wasn't going anywhere, but he was making money from BitConnect directly. They were paying him.
Through the referrals.
So I got to push back against that. Bitcoin trade.
Which is fair.
You're a legend for what you did before, but you got to understand, we can find those IG messages where I tried to get you 4 years ago out of that. So again, hopefully 4 years from now, I won't be having to say that to people that were in Hex. But
I hope so, because like I've been putting more money back into the traditional markets over the last couple of weeks because I'm like, all right, I've been hard on crypto for the last 10 months during this bull run, and I need to hedge a bit. So I wholeheartedly understand that if Hex doesn't play out in the long run, I'm taking an L. My reputation's taking an L, but I hope people don't look at me personally and say he's a bad person because he promoted a project that he believed in. So, hey, I've invested in Ferrum Network, took a huge L. Y'all saved me from taking the ICP L. Well, I be sitting here saying, hey, man, what the hell wrong with Zay and King? They over here selling ICP.
I will say, so when it comes to Trayvon James, the way I look at it, and I mean, shout out, he was like probably one of the top 3 or 4, like the first 3 or 4 YouTubers, crypto YouTubers out there. He used to give away Bitcoin every day as well. So shout out to Trayvon for that stuff. However, for me acting like he didn't know better, like I would say okay, only for like legal reasons, like he didn't know better. I agree. But also it's just like, that's like the people coming on. Well, I think the regulators are going to come do the right thing. We need them. It's like, look. All right, I don't know.
we both saying it without saying it.
And to be as well versed as he is in crypto, I would say maybe, let's say early on, maybe I can understand him getting got. A lot of people got by BitConnect early on, but once the shit was selling full force, come on. Well, I understand. I wouldn't that'd be tough to throw away too.
Well, with pending legal matters, I got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
No, for sure. That's why I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt too. Like he didn't know what was going on, man. Yeah. Speaking of which, P King Express said we should go to Charles Hoskins' ranch. He invites everyone who doubts his sincerity with his fraud platform. Oh, you're being all right. I was about to message you, P King, but he's being sarcastic. He said, yeah, you should go to Charles Hoskins' ranch. He invites everyone who doubts his sincerity with his fraud platform. And then right after, you had said something funny as hell right after that. That's why I was like, I hadn't mentioned him.
I'm sorry. He said, in light of my ancestors, I don't go to random white people's ranch.
Hilarious. He
I
said,
don't know Charles. He said, may not come back.
He said Trayvon James and Craig Grant, a couple of comments, but I still love those guys. So,
hey, but before I get out of here, man, I just got one last thing to say. We smoking on that Reggie pack this morning.
Oh, all right, man, get out of here. No,
he's smoking on Cardano pack.
All right, Cardano.
Hey, see y'all later, boys. Hey, y'all have a good week, man.
I see you, Jails. Way to end the show, man.
Have a good one, Jails.
All right. Other than that, make sure you all smash that like and share. Again, this show is brought to you by Cryptomatic, a new news source, news media, and resource source for cryptocurrency. It's free. They're doing a giveaway next month. The link is in the chat. Make sure you sign up for the free newsletter and get the Crypto Starter Guide 2021. Other than that, that is the show for the day. Make sure you smash that like and share. Stay tuned for more news. The meetup will be next Saturday again, August 21st. And if you haven't already, go ahead and get that masterclass. People, you are losing out on money by not having it. Like literally, we sold a lot of those masterclasses. I'm just going to say that. And you haven't seen anyone come online say, yo, it's an issue with this masterclass. Everyone's been saying it's good. We would not lead you astray when it comes to that. Smash that like and share. And we see you next week for more crypto news. Cheers.
Cheers. Have a Friday.